Hello everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope you all are doing well, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about alternate ways to get stuff for your December daily. Now, we all like the paper packs with all the matching ephemera packs and stickers and chipboards and all of that, but one of my goals for the next couple years, actually, because I've got way too much stuff, is to use up stuff that I have and not to buy more stuff. Now, this little box here is a bunch of little pieces of ephemera and things. These are paper packs, things from different sources, but these are just like the little goodies that I'm going to decorate my December daily with in December when I'm actually working on the pages. So here's a quick glimpse so far of my December daily. No, that's not going to be the finished cover. That's just the start. And here's my book here. We will go over that, but not today, not until I get the cover done. But I just wanted to give you some ideas, especially people who are maybe new to junk journaling or doing all that, sources that you can get that you don't need to go and buy a lot of stuff, and you can actually recycle a lot of stuff, which is so important anymore. So I'm just going to go through this little pile here and give you some ideas of some different sources of material for your December daily and or junk journal, because if it's not, some of these things are not Christmas themed, you know, if they're not Christmas themed, you can certainly use them for your junk journals or art journals or whatever. So the first thing is your own embellishments. Now this little mason jar here with this little girl, I made that one. And I think that was the very first video I ever made. If you look at my playlist, I think the very, very first video I ever made was making these little embellishments. Then I made this stamp here, this big stamp with this die-cut deer on it. Now, you could just cut him out of a piece of paper and make the stamp that way. And this is a big size one. And then if you watched recently the collaboration with Susan Heil Arts on the clusters, this was the tiny clusters video. If you look at my tiny clusters video, and I just made that little cluster into a paper clip so that I could put him in my book and clip things behind him. You know, if I clip him to the page, let's see here, if I clip him to the page, you know, then anything else I can clip behind him to keep it on there. So your own embellishment, make some of your own embellishments. So that's kind of obvious. But then there are other things. Now, this right here, this did come from a paper pack. But it was actually a big journaling card. And my theme for my December daily this year is home for the holidays. So I'm looking for everything with home. So I cut the card. It was actually even longer. This house was sticking on this end. I cut this little house out so that I can use that as a little embellishment somewhere. And I cut the top of the card. I don't even know what it said, but I cut it off just to keep this little row of houses, because that goes with my theme of home for the holidays. So I'll be using those. And like I said, all these things are going to be in here to be used when I get to my journal. Now, the next thing is wrapping paper. You know, Christmas has some great wrapping papers. I was at Marshall's the other day and looking at their wrapping paper, and they tend to have some really cute retro style wrapping paper. Now, these all came from one roll of wrapping paper, and there's different pictures, more pictures too that I don't have here. These are wrapping paper. This came from Marshall's. I got this on clearance 2 years ago after the holiday, and it's got all these squares with all these images, and it's a really nice heavy paper. It almost feels plasticky. It's a wonderful paper. So, you know, you cut out some wrapping paper. This is another one. This was another piece that I got from Marshall's. And this is a more traditional Christmas looking, like Victorian Christmas looking. And then they had, this is brown paper. You can see it's wrapping paper. It's got the grid on the back, and it had these adorable little Santas. And I just cut them out. You know, I just cut a piece of wrapping paper and then fussy cut all these little guys out. So wrapping paper, and you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be Christmas themed. If you have birthday paper wrap or, you know, any kind of wrapping paper that you really like and you like the image on it, cut them out. Use them. These might be a little bit harder to find, but not necessarily, which are the little vintage gift tags, pre-made gift tags. Now you can use modern ones, and again, like I said, Marshalls and places like those do have some really cute retro ones, so hit Marshalls right after Christmas and see if you can get some of those on sale. But vintage little Christmas tags make great little journaling spots or just, you know, decorations on your pages. Now, this is a tag that I had gotten a box of these, oh my gosh, years and years ago at Tuesday Morning. And this had pop dots. You can see the glue right here. This had some pop dots underneath. So this joy was kind of popped up like this. So all I did was took off the pop dots. So now I have two decorations. I've got the tag one. Here's the little thread here. And this front piece, so that's two pieces. However, this is also layered again, so I can take this pop dot off and make, this has the same print, so this back piece will look like this. Then I'll have this joy with the fringe, the scallop on the end, and then the plain joy that was here. So if you have dimensional items, try pulling some of those apart. So from one tag, I can get 3 pieces of ephemera. Next is printables. You know, there are tons of digitals and printables. There's free ones. There's tons on Etsy that are very inexpensive. This is one of my favorite artists right here. And so this is just a little printable here. And so I'm using these little guys in my junk journal. You can go on Etsy and just in the search bar, just do Christmas printables or Christmas digital downloads, and you will find tons. But there's also, if you go on Pinterest and just do like vintage Christmas or rustic Christmas or whatever your theme is, and put that in there, you will get tons of pictures, and you can just print them out on copy paper even. You know, you don't have to use expensive paper. Next is look out for old vintage playing cards. See this one here? I picked that one out because it has the cabin on it. And then these two have deer. This one has trees, snowy trees on it. And this one is also in the snow, so they look like they are Christmassy ones. So old playing cards are also great. Then cards are a great source for ephemera, and I'm talking about greeting cards. So this was cut actually from a vintage greeting card here. If you can see that, which way am I going here? This way. Okay, there you go. This is that vintagey paper that they used. But if you don't have vintage cards, you don't need vintage cards. This was cut out of a new card, and I just cut it into a tag shape. It was just, I don't know, it was probably a big image, and I just picked out this little snowman right here and made him into a tag. Then this is just a tiny little picture. This was on the back of the card. Sometimes on the backs of cards they have the repeat picture of what was on the front, but it's much smaller. So that's just what that was. So that's very heavy because it's a card. Then this image, I cut this again, home for the holiday. I cut this image out from the front of a card. Isn't that beautiful? And you can make these as tuck spots or whatever you want. This little English style post box was also cut out from a card. And then these, I love these little guys. Oh my goodness. These are adorable. They were all on one card, but there's tons of them. All these little Santas doing different things, and they are so cute. Oh my gosh. And then here was the sentiment, have a jolly time. So all of these little Santas here, and I've actually put 2 in my junk journal already. All of these little Santas came from one card, the front of one card. All I did, instead of going, you know, to the store to buy stuff, I just fussy cut them. And you can fussy cut while you're watching TV. You can fussy cut while you're watching YouTube videos. You can fussy cut while you're watching all my videos on YouTube. But don't overlook cards. And if you don't have a lot of cards, ask people to save their cards for you and give them to you after the holidays or birthdays or anniversaries or whatever, because cards have so much good fodder on them. Okay, then the next one we probably all know about is books. Books from Thrift Shops. This came from a little book about Santa, and I've gotten tons of cool Santa pictures out of that one book. Then this is just a strip from a book. This is the I Spy Christmas book. But if there's Christmas cookbooks, Christmas craft books, Christmas decorating books, all of those have great, great pictures in them. And these two came from just a vintage children's Christmas song book. So I can, cut out around here. I can probably cut around them, but then you also have jingle bells here that I can put somewhere else. I've got a little bit of music up here, or I can use the music on the back if I want. This one says Silent Night, so I might pick that. So book pages are great. Napkins. This is a vintage napkin, and you can see why I picked that for this year, because it's a little cabin. But any kind of napkins, seasonally, there are so many beautiful napkins to be used. So if you're coming up to working on a project and it's like a flower journal or whatever, just keep your eyes open for things that have that theme. I kind of put things aside all year long in the little Tupperware box I'm using for my junk journal. So anything that had a house on it went in there. And then last but not least that I can think of that I'm going to give you in this video is actual trash, okay? These little pieces here, these colored little pieces here, were just packaging from the cover of the bundled up Christmas pad. That is my favorite paper forever. It's crepe papers bundled up. And so they usually have the little pictures on the front so you can see what the inside papers look like. And I use those and cut those out, and I can use those as embellishments or, bases for embellishments or something. Also, calendars on the back, they usually have the pictures of the 12 months. Those are also great. You can cut those out, and it's the same pictures that are inside, but they're just shrunk down smaller so that, if you have like a small journal like mine, these pictures aren't going to be overwhelming, on a page or something. So those. This came from a magazine. These were actually pillows that I cut from a magazine. There's no place like home. What I love most about home is whom I share it with. And then one of these I have actually used also in my junk journal already. So these just came out of a magazine, and they were pillow covers. So keep your eyes open. Like I said, decor, stamps. This was ripped off of an envelope from last year. And then packaging, more packaging. This was packaging from tags, cards, and seals, 100 pieces or 170 pieces. You can get stuff like this at Thrift Shops. And then this was just some stretch tinsel trim. Look how cute that packaging is. Now, if it's too big for your journal, luckily he will fit in my journal, but if it's too big for your journal, the packaging, then just, cut it out the little pieces you want. Cut out tinsel trim and cut out the Santa and cut out the bricks. And use the pieces instead of the whole thing. But packaging is also great. So guys, I wanted you to see, you don't have to buy those expensive collections. You don't have to go broke making a December daily. Use up the stuff that you have. Save up stuff. Keep your eyes open during the holidays and look at all the great stuff that's coming in that you can use for your journal. And guys, use up your stash. We are in a time right now where the supply chain's kind of iffy and everything is going on with China and blah, blah, blah. We don't want to be dependent on those companies making all of our stuff. We need to be using stuff that we have. We need to be using up our stash, and it will save you some money right now when maybe money, is a little bit tight. So I just wanted to show you those eco-friendly ways that you can make your junk journal just delicious when it's done. And I promise I will do a video on my junk journal, but my December daily, but I want to finish the cover before I do that. And there are some other videos I want to make also junk journal related or December daily related. So I hope you like this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration to use up some stuff. Look at the stuff you have around you with new eyes. Go, if you've never done a December daily before, I challenge you right now to go look at your Christmas wrapping paper and your Christmas cards and see what you can't, pull out of those or cut from those to start making your journals. Guys, I hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up. It just takes 1 second, but it really, really helps me. Hello to all my new subscribers. It's so nice to have you. And for those of you who watch who don't subscribe, please, please, please hit the subscribe button for me. I really appreciate it. And guys, until the next video, I hope you all are truly blessed. Bye-bye.